Picture this scenario. A young couple just closed on their dream home. 3 bedrooms, white picket fence, the whole package. They pop the champagne, post the photos on Instagram, and everyone congratulates them on finally becoming real adults. Fast forward 5 years. They're eating ramen 3 nights a week. They can't afford a vacation. Their emergency fund is zero because the HVAC died. And when they get offered a job that would double their salary in another state, they can't take it because they're trapped. Trapped by what we've been told is the cornerstone of wealth building. Trapped by homeownership. What if I told you that buying a house in 2025 is financial suicide for most people? And what if I told you that everyone pushing you to buy is either profiting from your decision or mindlessly repeating advice from 1987 that no longer works? My name is Mike, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, wealth psychology, and why the advice that made your parents middle class will keep you poor forever. If you're tired of being told you're throwing money away on rent, make sure to hit that subscribe button. The median home price in America is $420,000. The median household income is $75,000. That's 5.6 times median income. In 1987, when your parents bought their house, homes cost 2.5 times median income. The game has completely changed, but everyone's still playing by the old rules. And if you bring up these numbers, you get hit with the same tired response. But you're just throwing money away on rent. Are you, though? Or is that just something a real estate agent told someone in 2009 and they never bothered to check if it was actually true? Here's what drives me absolutely crazy. The entire home ownership conversation is built on myths that were true 40 years ago, but are weapons-grade nonsense today. Myth number 1, rent is throwing money away. This made sense when homes cost 2.5 times your income, but today, homes cost 5.6 times your income and mortgage rates are 7%. The entire equation has flipped. Myth number 2, your house is your biggest asset. Robert Kiyosaki said it best, your house is not an asset, it's a liability. Assets put money in your pocket, liabilities take money out. Your house takes money out every single month through mortgage, taxes, insurance, and maintenance. Myth number 3, building equity builds wealth. Equity is dead money. You can't spend it, you can't invest it, it just sits there, locked in your house, earning 3 to 4% annually while the stock market averages 10%. But home ownership isn't really about money. It's about identity. It's about proving you're an adult. It's about keeping up with friends who just bought. And here's what makes me want to flip a table. Every single person who profits from you buying a house is telling you to buy a house. Real estate agents make 6% commission. On a $420,000 home, that's $25,000. Banks make hundreds of thousands in interest. The government collects property taxes forever. But you know who doesn't profit from you buying? You. Let me show you exactly how homeownership destroys wealth with 4 brutal truths that nobody talks about. Truth number 1, the down payment death. $84,000. That's a 20% down payment on the median home. And if you've saved that much, you've proven you can build wealth. But the moment you hand it over, you've converted liquid, investable assets into illiquid home equity you cannot access without selling or borrowing. Watch this. $84,000 invested in the S&P 500 at 10% annually turns into $1.46 million after 30 years. $1.46 million. That down payment just cost you over $1 million in wealth. Nobody told you that. The real estate agent didn't mention it. Your parents had no idea this math existed. You feel like you're building equity, but you didn't build wealth. You destroyed your wealth building engine. You took money that could compound and trapped it in your walls. Truth number 2, the hidden cost avalanche. When you shop for a house, everyone focuses on the monthly mortgage payment. Can you afford $2,230 a month? But that number is a lie. Let me show you what they're hiding. Property taxes, $300 to $400 per month. And it goes up every year, forever, even after you pay off your mortgage. Homeowners insurance, $250 per month. And if you're in Florida or California, good luck. Insurance just went up 40% in 2 years. Maintenance, 1% of home value annually. That's $350 per month. New roof, $15,000. HVAC replacement, $8,000. Water heater, $2,000. These aren't if expenses, they're when expenses. Add it up. Your real monthly cost isn't $2,230. It's $3,500 to $4,000. They hid $1,200 to $1,700 per month from you. Compare that to renting at $2,000 all in. Roof leaks? Not your problem. HVAC dies? Landlord's problem. The renter pays $2,000 and invests the difference. The homeowner pays $4,000 and calls it wealth building. Truth number 3. The mobility death trap. The average American changes jobs every 4 years now. The biggest raises come from switching companies, 20 to 30% on average. But home ownership kills your career mobility. Here's the scenario. You get an incredible job offer, different city, 40% raise, career opportunity of a lifetime, but you own a house. Selling costs 6% in realtor commissions. That's $25,000, plus closing costs, moving costs, and months of stress. And if you've only owned 3 or 4 years, you haven't built enough equity to cover those costs. You might have to bring cash just to sell your own house. So you pass on the opportunity. You stay trapped. Over 10 years, that decision cost you $400,000 in lost earnings. That house you bought to build wealth just cost you $500,000 in career advancement. The renter gets the offer, gives 30 days notice, moves, takes the raise, builds their career. Mobility is wealth. Home ownership kills mobility. Truth number 4, the transaction cost trap. Buying a house costs you 2 to 5% in closing costs. That's $11,000 to $21,000 just to get in. Selling costs 6% realtor commission plus 1 to 2% closing costs. That's another $34,000 to $48,000 to get out. Total transaction costs $45,000 to $69,000. That's money that doesn't build equity, doesn't pay your mortgage, doesn't do anything except enrich real estate agents. Your house needs to appreciate 11 to 16% just for you to break even. Not to make money, just to not lose money. At 3% annual appreciation, it takes 5 to 7 years to break even. But the average American moves every 13 years. Most people are destroying wealth with every move. Renters pay 0 transaction costs. The money they would have lost, they invested it, and it's compounding. Here's something that will blow your mind. Wealthy people don't buy houses the way middle-class people do. They rent their primary residence. They keep capital liquid. They invest in income-producing assets. When they buy real estate, they buy rental properties where tenants pay the mortgage. They buy commercial real estate where businesses pay the mortgage. The irony is brutal. Poor people buy houses they live in, which are liabilities. Rich people buy houses other people live in, which are assets. Same market, completely different strategies. If you want to build wealth with real estate, adopt their strategy. Rent where you live. Own what you rent out. Cash flow beats appreciation. Income beats equity. Let me show you what happens when you rent and invest instead of buying. You rent for $2,000 a month. Buying would cost $3,500 a month all in. The difference is $1,500. Invest that $1,500 every month at 8% for 30 years. You have $2.2 million. Add the down payment you didn't spend. $84,000 invested at 8% becomes $1.46 million. Total wealth as a renter who invested $3.66 million. The homeowner owns their house worth $420,000 with minimal retirement savings. Renting plus investing equals $3.66 million. Buying equals $420,000. The wealth gap is $3.24 million. But it's not just money. The renter had flexibility, could chase opportunities, could relocate, was free. The homeowner was trapped, stuck, passing on opportunities, stressed about maintenance and taxes. So there you have it. Homeownership isn't the American dream anymore. It's the American trap. It worked when homes cost 2.5 times income and jobs lasted 40 years. That world is gone. In 2025, homes cost 5.6 times income and careers require mobility. Locking yourself to one location for 30 years is financial suicide. You can follow outdated advice. You can listen to real estate agents who profit from your purchase. You can let social pressure push you into the biggest mistake of your life. Or you can follow the math. If you're renting, stop feeling guilty. You're not throwing money away. You're maintaining flexibility. And if you're investing the difference, you're building significantly more wealth than your homeowner friends. Start investing what you save by renting. Set up automatic transfers, buy index funds, watch your net worth grow while homeowners stress about foundation cracks. The math doesn't lie, and neither do I. Your future millionaire self is counting on you to ignore the noise and make decisions based on numbers instead of emotions. The biggest financial decision most Americans make is buying a house. And for most people in 2025, it's the biggest financial mistake they'll ever make.